What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video. And today we're taking a deep dive into the 2023 Houston Texans. So if you guys are new, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know how to use YouTube. Let's hop right into this. If you guys are new to the series, we are breaking down the depth chart as well as the records predictions. And starting off with the offense, we are going to be going by skill position to line, then line to skill position for defense, quarterback, brand new, CJ Stroud. He was my QB3, but it was pretty damn close to Anthony Richardson. I think that he's a solid quarterback. I think that in the right system with the right offensive line, you're going to do fine. And you have some really good weapons here. I'm very excited to see what y'all are going to be able to do with it because I'm very excited to talk about the wide receivers in a second. Running back Dameon Pierce was an absolute steal. He is definitely going to be spearheading an absolute monster of a backfield there, mainly with himself. But I think that he's going to be able to carry it very, very well. Wide receiver wise, I think this might be one of the strengths of your team. You have Nico Collins, John Mechie, Robert Woods, but behind them, you have Xavier Hutchinson and Tank Dell. When it comes to the depth of this core, it is just awesome. You don't have really any more star power. Brandon Cooks is gone. Nico Collins could take a big step up for sure, but I am not fully certain on it. I am not going to be putting my money on that claim. I think John Mechie is awesome. I'm so happy that he's been winning his fight, and that's totally wonderful. I love to see that because cancer is pretty predominant in a lot of different families, and it's good to see that we're seeing some positive trends towards that. Robert Woods, a really good veteran, but I think the spark is in the guys that are not listed in Tank Dell and Xavier Hutchinson because of the fact that Tank Dell, an extremely talented route runner, already has synergy with CJ Stroud because CJ said, I want that guy. And I totally agree. I think he's an awesome player. He was a top 100 player for me. He, to me, as long as he can stay healthy, would have been a top 32 player. I think he's an excellent separator. I think he has unbelievable maneuverability. And who cares about the 4.5 when he's able to play at that full 4.5? A lot of guys can run 4.3, but they'll play at 4.5. To me, I do not care what you run. I care what you play. And I think that he plays as fast as anybody in the game. I think he's awesome. I think he's going to be a great asset. Xavier Hutchinson is an amazing player as well. I think I could totally see him stepping up, especially if Nico gets hurt, because he has the frame, he has the ability overall, and he has really solid hands. I think he has a 2.7% drop rate. Awesome player. So very excited about that. Looking at the tight end, Dalton Schultz on a 1-year contract, you know that when he's healthy, he's a very reliable target. I'm a big fan of that one. But let's go. Actually, I forgot to mention Devin Singletary as well for the running back core. So you do have a nice 1-2 punch there. Looking at the line, Laramie Tunsil, he wants to stay here, reset the market, do all this. And you know what? His talent deserves it. So glad that he's getting his money. Kenyon Green, I'm thinking that he might take a big step up because now he's a little bit more comfortable. I thought he was best at left tackle in college, and he ended up sticking at left guard, had some struggles there. Juice Scruggs, I never really was fully sold. And, I think that maybe that's due to the fact that I never really fully watched him. I didn't watch all of his games, and I never really thought that he was anything special. So I just stopped. And honestly, that might be oversight on my part. But to be fair, I do go to school full time. There are priorities over Juice Scruggs. And, the tape I saw didn't really jaw drop me. That might come to bite me in the ass, and I pray to God it does. I honestly like being wrong because when I'm against a player and I'm wrong, then you just get to watch better football players, and that's the best part of the game. Then you got Titus Howard there, I believe, on his last year of his contract. It's a very solid O-line. It's a very solid O-line. I think overall it is one of the more consistent O-lines in the NFL, and luckily we're starting to see the offensive lines get even better. Another thing of note, you do have your quarterback from last year, Davis Mills. He does have talent. So in case of injury, it's not like all is lost. But yeah, I think you got to watch out for those guys. Overall, B+ team, you just don't have that star power. And there is that one little weak point there, in my opinion, there with Juice Scruggs. Looking at the defense, you have some really good pieces here. And you got Will Anderson in there, which is awesome. Jalen Pitre and Derek Stingley. I'll go into those guys soon because I'm starting out with the D line, but you have star power. I feel like the consistency is a little bit lower. So you got Sheldon Rankins there. Solid, but he's on a 1-year deal. You got Malik Collins, who I believe just signed a 2-year extension. Great. Great for you guys. Then you got Jonathan Grenard. Nothing is bad there. Nothing. I think it's solid. Linebackers, Corey Littleton, Denzel Perriman. That's okay. I like Christian Harris a lot, but I do think that Sam and Mike are just a little bit more on the underwhelming side. Then you got, I want to say, I'm forgetting Ward's first name, but Jay Ward, I believe. No, it's not Jay. I just did the Vikings thing. I think that guy's named Jay Ward. You guys know who I'm talking about. Ward, strong safety formerly of the Niners, and then Jalen Pitre, who was one of my highest graded players last year, who is an absolute beast. Then you got Desmond King in the slot, which is awesome. Love seeing him as that nice nickel back. And then you have Steven Nelson as well as Derek Stingley as well as Shaq Griffin, which is good. Really good depth there for sure. But of course, on the D-line, you do have guys like Thomas Booker, Chase Winovich, and Jerry Hughes. You have good depth there. And you have Blake Cashman there as a backup Mike. Overall, it's a solid team. You have star power, but I do think that there is a little bit of oomph lacking. I think that there's too much disparity between the top and the bottom. And that could, it builds a great foundation, but it could certainly lead to those slip-ups that end up causing teams wins. But overall, I think Christian Harris is going to step up into his own. Got to watch out for Griffin stepping in for Nelson. Good squad overall. I have you guys going 5-12. You guys are going to be 14th in the conference, but I do believe that you are going to be far superior than the worst NFC teams. You guys are going to be closer to that 10th overall pick, which going from 2 to 8th is a big step. You guys don't think it is, and I know everybody wants to say, "Oh, my team's going to make the playoffs. My team's so good." It's you gotta take it with a pinch of salt, man. It's a grind. The NFL is every team's getting better. So just because your team got better doesn't mean every other team got better. You guys are certainly doing better. You went from 16th to 14th in your conference, and you went from the 2nd overall pick to the 8th. It's a big jump. Let's break down these games by each one. Now we have Baltimore. I don't need to explain that. Baltimore is a high-octane offense. Could be a little slip up there, but I don't think that you guys are going to be in the position to win versus Baltimore. Indianapolis, I really love Indy. I really do. I think CJ is a better quarterback day one than AR is, but I think AR will have that running ability, and Jonathan Taylor and that defense has some star power to it too. We'll be talking about them tomorrow, but I think they might be just a little bit better. Then you got Jacksonville, who I think is an absolute superpower team. Pittsburgh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, but I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a little bit more in the groove of the NFL. Atlanta is a damn good team. We'll talk about them soon enough. New Orleans as well. That's a good division. They've taken a big step up. And then you have going off the bye week, you're going to an outdoor stadium there in Carolina. And, Carolina Heat is crazy. So I think the Panthers are going to kick some ass. They're a good team. And Tampa Bay, I think they're easily the weakest in their own division. You got Cincinnati there. You're going up north. I think that's a pretty obvious one. Arizona, I have Kyler Murray returning week 14, but he is projected week 10. Highly doubt it. But I think he's going to be coming back week 14. Then you have Jacksonville right there. Again, just a super high-octane team. Denver, I have you guys getting the W against them because it's at home. But if it were away, I think Denver's a damn good team, and I didn't give them enough credit. New York and Tennessee, you're both away for those games. New York's going to be a pain in the winter with that superpowered team. And then Tennessee, I have issues with your defensive line interior being not elite, that is. And then the linebackers, I think Derrick Henry can feast on those two levels being a little bit weaker. But then you guys I'm going to have you split because I love y'all. And then you get to go to Cleveland, or Cleveland comes to you guys. Cleveland's a high-octane team. And then you end off versus Indy. I think Indy is just a superpowered team is a superpower 1 year away. So that is going to be where it's at. I think, again, 5-12 is not bad whatsoever. There are a lot of NFC teams that are going to be outshining, and the AFC is super duper competitive. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys on the far side. Peace.